What we're going to find out when we build a site in Adobe Flash is we actually can really even do a lot of our design work in Adobe Photoshop. Now, what I've done here, and it's not all the way laid out, but I just want to give you a basic idea, is I could say I'm going to say this is more of the first page of my Flash site. I want to have this image with this, and then I'm going to put some text in here. Then if I take this off, maybe on my second page, I want to have these three images. And I could even take and move these images up. Okay, hold on. They're not all quite moved. I'll just move one at a time. All right, so I can take this image, move this image around, leave a space. Okay, and actually I can even build a gallery. I'll start with this picture here just for the marker. Then the last page has the words contact me. Now, I can see these are all on different layers. And actually, why don't I write a contact me page right here? So we'll grab the type, the T for type. Maybe we'll choose a different kind of type. I always love Georgia. Okay, so I'll pick Georgia and I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to put this in at like 48. Contact me at. All right, let's see. Let's change the color of this from white. Let's flip it. Contact me through filling out the below form. Okay, now what we'll do too is we will create a form while we're here. But for right now, we're going to leave it just as it is. All right, so let's take a look. We come back in we're going to save all this file, save, and now we're going to open up Adobe Flash. So I come on in, I'm opening up Adobe Flash CS5. I open this all up, and what I want to do is I want to import all of my document to my stage. Now, when I import my Photoshop document to my stage, I want to make sure that I keep my layers editable, and when I have text that I keep that editable too. So I begin with ActionScript 3.0. Again, this is we're working on a website, so we can open up our properties panel. Actually, better yet, I want to open up the one that I've already built. File, open recent. I want to open up the one that I've already built that has the navigation bar built into it. So I can come on in here to Web Design 2, and I want to take a look at this one, nav, bars, and buttons. Open. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so I have my about, images, updates. Let's get rid of updates. Let's put contact in here. Hold on. I'm going to grab my T for type. C-O-N-T-A-C-T. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a couple of them just to really give you the sense, right? And then we were going to take our next one, window. We're going to open up our properties panel is here, and we want to have our tools too. Now, what we wanted to do with this next one, I'm going to bring this one over to here. Okay, and then we can come on in and put follow us on Twitter. Okay, we'll take a look at how we can go and link then to an outside source. Now, it's actually pretty easy to do, and I believe that I have an extra S in here. It's kind of hard to say. Yes, I do. Follow us on Twittering. Okay, so I can click this. Now, what I can do is I can come into my properties panel, and I see that I have classic text right here. I see that I have classic text. Now, what I could do is I could put in my link. So my link could be http://www.twitter.com. Now, of course, you'd have to put in the Twitter landing page. Now, what we want to do with our target is we want to keep our target blank. And what will happen when we keep it blank is it will open it up in a new page. We have classic text. That's what we want. We have, we'll keep it at static text for this. And there it goes. Now, if we would like to, we could just check this out really quick. So we come into control and control, and we want to say test movie, and we'll test it in Flash Professional, and we can see follow us on Twitter, and it would open up a new page with that would go to Twitter. Okay, now this one's not working. Our URL will work when we get our account live on the web. Okay, moving right along, let's come to our next piece here. I'm going to zoom it on in. Next thing we want to do is we want to bring in our Photoshop document. Next thing we want to do is we want to bring in our Photoshop document, pull this on up, and we're going to have everything in separate layers. What I want to do in this video is just organize the layers so they're all within here, but we're going to begin. Here goes. We come to File, Import, Import to Stage. We find the root to our PSD document. I'm coming into, let's see, where is it? Pages to Site, open. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to click on this. All right, excellent. All right, so what we want to do with this is we want to say we want it to be editable. We want it to be editable text, create a movie clip. For this image, we want bitmap image with editable layer styles. Okay. And we want it to have it select, and we can see that it has it selected to create a movie clip from this layer. That's what we want. We want it to be a movie clip. Our movie clip is going to give us the most ability to really come in and animate and move things around. So again, I'm clicking, turning this on. I want editable text and a movie clip. Clicking, I want bitmap image with editable layer styles and a movie clip. Let's come back to this one. Bitmap image with editable styles, and I can tell that these are all movie clips. Let's take a look at this one. Create a movie clip. Excellent. I can tell that these all are movie clips from this little image in here. So really we can bring over our images and create them into symbols a couple different ways. They could be movie clips, buttons, or graphics. Buttons, we can add interactivity associated with buttons. And we did buttons in the video prior to this. And we also, when we look at graphics, well, movie clips will have the most, we can do the most with them. We can really animate our movie clips. So here goes. We hit OK, and it all came in. Now, what we can see here is if I pull out my layers here, that we have my timeline. My timeline is going to have everything that it needs on it. Now, what's interesting about our timeline is we can say that it's on the timeline that not only we can organize, and we also can, what else can we do? We can organize our layers, and we also can make the action take place. Now, I want to take my nav bar, move it up to here. I want to take my buttons layer, I want to move it up to here. And I want to take my button type, and I want my button type to be all the way up on the top. Now, you kind of can get the sense that, wow, you could really have a lot going on. And you might even want to put things in folders. So I could take a new folder. I could name this folder navbar. Okay, and I could take all of the info that's associated with the navbar, and I could drop it in there. I have my buttons, and I might need to rearrange things then in a minute. Okay, so this one is the button type. This one's the button type. So I need to take this up to the top, and there we have. So again, whatever is up on the top is what will be up on the top. Pretty easy, right? So whatever is up on the top in our layers palette will be what will be on the surface, will be what we see, what is closest to us within our animation. Now, of course, I can come in here and I can start moving things around on my stage. I can grab my selection tool, take this footer, move it on down. You know, I could even start to take more of this and start moving this over. All right, but let's actually just focus in on our first page. So I'm going to turn off contact. I'm going to turn off this image here. I am going to turn off this, and I want to keep on these two. Okay, the lotus, I think I could even turn off about actually. Or about actually I want to keep on. This is the type. All right, so there we go. All right, so what I want to do right now is I can grab my image, okay? And if I come into my library, I'm going to see that my page to sites PSD, that here is my Lotus image. Excellent. So I can even pull out, I could, if I wanted to, pull out more instances of this. I come to my properties panel. I can see that I want to keep this the width and the height length. Now what I want to do is I can actually make this a smaller image so it fits onto my page a little bit better. And actually I can move this off. What I want to do real quick is come in and select this in here and move this up, move my nav bar up, creating more space on my stage. I could take this, bring this over here. Okay, this is just going to be a graphic image that I want to have. Take this right here. So really, you can start gathering your images in Photoshop, bringing them in, placing them in. Now, not only that though, you could also it doesn't even need to be a Photoshop document. You could import to stage and really import a lot of different kinds of files, JPEGs, different kinds of things that you want to be a part of this. All right, there we go. So now I have my first page. I could move this down a little bit. Okay, now what I want to do now is I want to put a little bit of an about, something that is about this. So what I want to do is I can take my text tool and I can draw a shape, okay, and I can paste my text in. All right, and look at that. I thought that I had much more text, which I don't. So let's actually grab a little bit more text then, and I'll pull up my Word document here. We'll grab this portion right in here, edit, copy, and again we can see quite often how seamlessly, whoopsie, Word often works with things. All right, so now I have this portion of text, and maybe I want to come on in here and write, you know, about the Peace Seedlings project. All right, let me zoom it on in because it's awfully difficult to read. All right, now when I take a look at this type though, what do I want to do? Well, I want to select it. I want to come back to my properties. And what we want to do, you know, to change this around is we want to have TLF text. And let's make it selectable. And what we're going to find as we get into Flash, there's actually a lot of different features for us to stylize and to form our font. Now, what I could do if I wanted to, you know, make a link within here, right? I could say Buddhist philosophy. Dun, 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 dun. I could come on in here and I could create a link. HTTP semicolon www dot, I could put shambhala.org. Okay, that's a place that teaches quite a bit about Buddhism. Okay, maybe I'd want that to be my link. Now I'm going to keep my this link blank. I click off, and this has now been stylized into a link. What else we could do, we could come on in and we could format this even more. Okay, we could get rid of that. We come to our paragraph, aligning things, centering. We could justify our text. Now, if we come to our behaviors, what we want to do right now, let's actually change this to a 2-column layout. All right, and we can see that, very easily we can change this around so we have a 2-column layout. Now, maybe what I'd want to do, actually, the more I look at this, is maybe I'd want to take this, edit, cut, get rid of this space in there. Up. All right, let me redo. I just undid that. All right, but I think you get the idea. So you can really play around with this. And what I had just done, just to recap, because then I went and got rid of it, is I just came in and I changed this into a 2-column layout. Okay, and maybe to make this stand out more about the Peace Living Project, we could, change the size of it. And we could even come on into here and bring this down to line up. All right, so there we have it. A little bit of type, an image. Okay. Come into our tools, click off of here. All right, so what happened was my type was white, so I kept on clicking off and it was disappearing. So my type is all created. Next thing I want to do is select my type, come on in, modify, convert to symbol. Okay, and we'll make this type. Keep it a movie clip. We'll say it's type and it's the about type. I'll say okay. All right, so there we have it. This page is all done. Again, actually what I might want to do is take this, edit, cut it, edit, and then take it and let's put it on its own layer. The type home, now I can come in, edit, paste in center. All right, good. Now I wanted to do that because I wanted everything to be on its own layer. So let's just double check. Okay, there's my type layer, my Lotus layer, my Lotus mixed media. I'm going to turn these 3 off. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we can turn our next set of things on. And we'll really focus in on these 2 pages. So again, same thing, I can come into my properties, I can make the image smaller. Click off, I can click onto this. Again, come into my properties, make it smaller. I can click on this, pull this up. I can take this, move it over. And again, we find that it's actually quite easy to work with. We can get all of our images and our pages just laid out as they are. And then after we get them all laid out, we can then come on in and change things around. Now, when I double clicked into him, I can see that now I'm just in this Liam clip. And what I could do is I could come in and create a custom animation just with this too. But to get to scene 1, I click in here. Then I'm going to turn this off, this off, this off. I'm going to turn on my contact. And all I want to do right now is just make this smaller. So let's see here. And we did keep it as editable text. Let's grab our type tool. Let's click. And it's not quite editable. So let's just do it this way for sake of time. My video is getting rather long. Come on into our properties and contact me through filling out the below form. All right, and we're going to keep that form blank for right now. So there we have it. We've organized our pages. We're turning layers on, turning layers off. And when they're all turned on, we'll take a look. We're going to see that they're all going to be stacking on top of one another. So again, we can use Flash to organize our sites. And what I'm going to do in building a website in Flash video 3 is I'm going to look at how we then go about organizing our timeline and making animation and interactivity happen in our website.